If you just stumbled across this video and you're an entrepreneur or business owner and you're dealing with self-esteem issues, limiting beliefs, fear, doubt, worry, stress, anxiety, and you have some uncertainty about your business and the future of our country and the world going forward, this is the exact video you need to watch right now. I'm gonna walk you through a 3-step process, 1 part being physical, 2 parts being mental, that combined together will reset and give you a foundational restructuring point to build a new life off of. That I did this process 10 years ago that led me from going from basically 100 grand in debt, living at home with my parents, bankrupt in every way, to changing the direction of my life, to building some of the biggest businesses in the world in my industry. And if you don't know who I am, guys, my channel's built in a sequential order. You're going to hear me talk about this going forward quite a bit. Go back to my channel, start watching video 1 all the way through up until now. It's going to really help you understand where you're at in this video currently that you're watching. So I want you to understand something. I've been teaching this 3-step process to individuals inside my companies, businesses, and organizations for years, and the results have been unbelievable. I've seen people go from nothing, bankrupt in every way, to millionaires. I've seen people who are about to get divorced, fix their problems. I've seen relationships started or fixed. This is not just for business. This is for overall life. This is success principles for life. Now, before we go into this, guys, we're going to go 1, 2, 3. This is very detailed training. I want you to understand you have to do all 3. If you don't do all 3, then it probably is not going to work for you the best that it could, right? So number 1 is the physical side. And this is something that a lot of people struggle with when they're getting into entrepreneurship, is they don't understand that their physical condition directly impacts their bank account. If you're physically fit and you're in your best shape, your income will be higher. I have multiple videos coming out in the future proving this. And it's not just 1, 2, or 3, or 4, or 5 different ways I'm going to tell you this. It's like 15 different reasons that we're going to go into detail on why your physical condition and your mental condition, if they are not harming together, both healthy, working together, your results or your performance will struggle. So if you want to build a big business, $1 million business, and have that great life, you have to work on your mind and your body. And here's the reason why. If your mind is messed up, your body will be too. Let's say you're stressed out, you're dealing with stress, self-esteem issues, anxiety, fear, and worry. What does that mean? How do we fix the body? Well, we usually numb it with pleasures of the flesh. This is when we start doing drugs. We start consuming alcohol at a level that we shouldn't. We start oversleeping. We sleep in every day, right? We indulge in fatty foods and sugary foods and sodas. This is when we start destroying our body because we're using the pleasures of the flesh to numb the pain of our mind. Now flip the script and let's look at it in reverse order. What happens when your body's jacked up? Let's say I've been sitting at a desk for 10 years straight and I've never heard the term yoga roller or lumbar extender, and my body's out of alignment and I'm always stressed and feeling chronic pain. What happens when your mind's focusing on your chronic pain? It's not focusing on your business, right? It's not focusing on thought that could create income. It's focusing on pain that could be fixed. Let's say that you're dealing with acid reflux issues because you're eating the things that you shouldn't be eating all the time, and you're always feeling bad because you're having digestive issues. What do you think that does for your physical or for your mental state? Do you think you're in your best, clearest mind? And if your mind's not clear because you're always focused on the pain in your body, how are your results going to manifest to the level that you want them to be? So as I go through this, guys, I know that you don't think your physical condition impacts your business. It does, probably more than you could ever imagine. When I was out of shape, 50 pounds overweight, I can tell you my income was extremely low in comparison to when I was in great physical condition. So let's go into this, guys. Let's break this down. I hope that helps. But remember, do all 3, 1, 2, 3. And let's start with number 1. Here it is. So what number 1 is, guys, is progression. Now, give me a second here. This is very important to understand. As you guys know, Tony Robbins talks about progression creates happiness. Now, here's one of the reasons you're dealing with self-esteem issues, depression, anxiety. You are living in the past. What all successful people understand is if they live in the future, the further in the future that they live in, the more likely they are to be happy, content, hit their goals, and have the life they always want. Now, if they're living in the past, meaning stagnation, regression, looking backwards, what do you think this does to them? Now, let's look at the 2 types of past we can live in. Past positive, past negative. Past positive would be a victory. Let's say, like you've seen that movie or that television show, Married with Children, right? Al Bundy. What does he always say? I scored 4 touchdowns in my high school championship game, right? He's living in the past. Do you want to have Al Bundy's life? Well, that's what people that live in the past do. So if you're wearing your college jersey or you're reliving college experiences, guys, what that means is this. You've committed in your mind that your past victory is the best, highest moment that you will ever have in your life. It's the peak of your life, right? Because you've given up on the future being better, or that you could change your future for the better, or have a better future and better results in the future that are higher than what you had in the past. So you're reliving that past victory because the nostalgia or whatever, and you're going back through it to feel the vibration or the energy level vibrating in your body when you think about those old thoughts. That's why it feels good to revisit it, right? Now let's look on the other side, the negative past. You're thinking about something that went horrible in your life, a tragedy. You lost your job, your business imploded, you had a bankruptcy, your wife cheated on you, something that was horrible behind the scenes that you're stuck in that you can't get out of your mind. So whatever it is, past victory or past loss, if you're living in the past, your depression will be high, your anxiety will be high. So you need to have progression in your life to stay focused on the future. The way we do this is we write goals on pen and paper, and we write big goals that take a long time or have a long term to hit them in the future. So progress creates happiness. Now, here's why the physical side is so important. Progression in the physical body is the fastest way to see physical or visual results. So when your body changes and you start running and you start losing weight, what happens? You can see the weight coming off your body. Your face will slim. Your respect for yourself will grow. Your self-esteem will increase. You look better than you did before. Now, let me ask you guys something. When you're in your best you or your worst you, do you have more energy? Are you more excited or you're happy about life? Or are you less excited, less energy? Now, when it comes to running a business, do you think you need more excitement and more energy, or less excitement and less energy, right? So the first thing you understand is the fastest way to move your body, or the fastest way to get a change in life, is to move your body. Progression in your body happens quickly. Your energy levels will increase so you can build a business. Your self-esteem will increase so you can believe that you can build a business and stay forward on it when things get tough. And overall, you condition yourself in a physical appearance now that is strong for people looking in around you. And if you want to grow a big business, people have to follow you. Businesses are full of people. That's what they essentially are, right? You can't have a single business as on your own unless you're a solopreneur. And we're going to talk a lot about the solopreneur on this channel, guys, because I think there's a lot of misconceptions about the solopreneur. But the first thing is, when you have progression in one area of your life, it transcends into other areas of your life. So if you move your physical body, you change it, you're going to create a winning streak. You're going to want to do it again in other parts of your life. Now you want to start reading, gaining skill sets. Now you want to start, picking up a hobby. Now you want to start doing something for someone else, because when we're in the right mindset and we feel good about ourselves and our self-esteem is high, this is when we go out there and live life. And when it's not, we hide from life. Now let's dig into number 2, which is fixing that past and getting rid of regrets. This is incredibly important, guys. I want you to think of yourself right now as someone at the gym. You have a bench or a bar over your shoulders, and there's a whole bunch of weight on it. Now, everybody understands that there's a maximum weight that they can lift. And what happens after you pass that maximum weight that you can lift? You can't lift anymore. It's going to crush you. So what do we have in this moment? We have a spotter, just in case we can't get that weight up. But many of you guys don't have a spotter in life. Let me be your spotter right now. You're messing up. There's so much weight on your bench, you can never lift this. In fact, I can't even help you lift this, and 10 of us can't even lift it together. And the reason why is you're living in regret. You've done many things throughout your life to friends, family members, partners, strangers, all the way from childhood up until today. And every single one of those things that you did is being put on as a weight on this bar. And we need to start taking these weights off the bar to get that weight of life to where you can lift it again. So therefore you can start building again and becoming the person you need to be. And the way to start taking the weight off of life is to go through a forgiveness episode, or forgiveness exercise, I guess you could say. And this is something that I did, and it completely took the pressure off my life. And overnight, I just felt like I had a new life coming. Like a new chapter was able to be opened up in my life. And it was directly after doing this process. And what this is step 1. We're going to have step 2 and 3, but going back to anybody that you felt you've ever wronged. And I mean all the way back to childhood. So when you guys have a moment to do this after this video, turn off the cell phone, turn off the computer, turn off the television, make sure nobody's around. And I want you to think. Thinking is the most important thing that you can do. And I want you to think as far back in the past as you can and go down a regret lane, I guess you could say. Now, it's scary to go in the past, but we need to go down regret lane. And I want you to write down anything that you can think of in your mind that you regret doing. Whether you disrespected a boyfriend or girlfriend, you did something to your parents, you stole something from somebody, anything, it doesn't matter. You picked on a kid in high school, you were a bully, whatever it is, if you can consciously pull that memory up, it's still a weight on your bar, if that makes sense. We need to clear it off. We need to take that weight off and put it back on the weight bench, right? Or the weight rack. So here's an example from my own life. I went back through this process just to show you that I did this myself. And I remembered all the way back until when I was like 8 or 9 years old. And what had happened was I was with my friends at the local park by our elementary school, and there was a pond down there. And this kid that was in my class had built a popsicle stick boat. He had taken a bunch of popsicle sticks. I think we still have those today. Probably people still do this. Kids still do this. And he put together and probably spent all afternoon or maybe days creating a boat, a little ship that he was floating around in the creek. And I was with my friends, and I thought it'd be cool to make myself look big and strong to go over and stomp on his boat. As bad as that sounds. Like, give me a break, guys. I was a little kid trying to figure myself out, just like we all are, even as an adult, right? Which I'm trying to help you on this channel. And for the short term, it made me feel good. It built my pride, it built my ego. This is what you need to understand. In the short term, many times things fuel our ego. They feel great in the short term, but for the long term, they affect us forever negatively. Because that one moment I stepped on that boat, I hurt him, I hurt myself forever. Until this moment when I released the pressure, I released the energy. And what happens is you need to go back to anybody and everybody and ask for forgiveness and just reach out to them, past girlfriends, past people that you've wronged, and simply reach out to them and say, hey, look, I wronged you. I know I shouldn't have done this. I know this is 20 years in the future. I'm still thinking about this. I know this has no impact probably to you whatsoever, but it actually will. I promise you. And if you reach out to them on Facebook, or you can find these people all over the internet, guys, it's going to be a great release for you and most likely them as well. It's going to actually help them, I promise you, but it's going to help you for sure. Because as you go and you start telling people you're sorry and asking for forgiveness, the weights will start coming off. Now, the second step is you need to flip it around. You need to unconditionally forgive anybody that's ever wronged you. If someone cheated on you, if someone owes you money, if a partner stole from you, if your parents wronged you, whatever it is, I don't care how egregious, I don't care how nasty, how evil it is. We all know we live in an evil world. What you need to understand is you choose what you want to do with these evil actions. Do you want to carry them on your weight, or do you want to let them go? It is a decision to just let it go. You can do this overnight. I was a very angry person. I was a very frustrated person, and I'd let things hang on my bench for too long. I wanted revenge, and I wanted to go back and get at these people that did these things to me. And the moment I let revenge go out of my heart, my life changed forever. Revenge is one of the most, it's one of the things that destroys success more than anything else, because it occupies the mind and it keeps you in a negative vibration. If you're constantly thinking about getting revenge on people, what does that mean? You're constantly living in the past, because you want revenge of something that's already happened in the past. So if you're living in the past, your thoughts are on the past, not on income producing activities, goal setting, what you can do, who you can call to build your business, right? So get revenge out of your heart, drop the hate, and whoever it is, if they owe you money or if they cheated on you, or whatever it is, forgive them unconditionally right now. It is done. Let it go. You can do this. You need to do this. If you don't believe you can do this, I'm telling you, it happens all the time. People just get to a point in life and they say, I'm tired of it. I'm exhausted of it. I'm not carrying the stress anymore. The weights are coming off. Now, the last one, and this is the most important one before we go into number 3, you have to forgive yourself. I beat myself up for years. I hated myself. I dealt with this issue for a very long part of my life. And it got to a moment where I just said, you know what? Why am I beating myself up and talking down to myself because of things that I did in the past that I didn't really understand that I was doing? And I'm beating myself up because I'm not 100% perfect, meaning I didn't make one mistake throughout my entire life, right? Or if that makes sense. Why am I beating myself up? Because nobody's perfect. I'm beating myself up because I'm trying to tell myself I have to be perfect throughout my entire life. And if I make a few mistakes, I'm gonna beat myself up for years based off those mistakes I made. It's so important to understand, guys, you are bullying yourself. Nobody likes a bully. When you look back at your life and you hold over yourself the things that you did, that you're not a perfect person, so you are going to make things, or you are going to do things that are not great in your life. But if you're holding them over yourself, you're bullying yourself. You're also telling yourself you're a bad person instead of saying I did a bad thing at one point in time. That's a big difference. You are not a bad person. You did a few bad things. So forgive yourself for them. And as soon as you forgive yourself, forgive others, and ask for forgiveness, the pressure, the weight of life comes off, and you start to move forward, and you feel fresh, you feel excited, and the energy in your body is going to change, as well as the energy changing because you're now working on your physical fitness, right? Now let's dig into number 3, guys, and wrap this video up. And I'm having more videos come out on similar things over the next coming weeks on this process on how to fix your mental state, your self-esteem issues. But let's dig into number 3 here and wrap this video up, guys. And if you like the video so far, go ahead and hit that like button. Comment below if this has impacted you or you resonate with this in any way. Here's number 3. And here's what number 3 is, guys. It is awareness through gratitude. And right now, if you're struggling in life, it's because you're not grateful. And I wasn't either. I had no gratitude for anything. I was a very ungrateful person. In fact, I was a jealous, envious person. I was entitled. I thought everything should be given to me because others around me had something. I was watching all these TV shows, right? MTV Cribs and all these people driving Lamborghinis and Ferraris. And I said, I should have those things because I'm alive and I'm me and I'm special for no reason other than I live in my own consciousness. And I thought that just because others had stuff, I deserved to have it too. And if I didn't, I should just hate the world and blame God and blame government, and blame the bird outside, and blame anything and everything I could, because I didn't have this blessed life that these other people earned right in front of my face. Now, at that moment in life, before I was successful, what I thought was, these people around me got lucky. Somehow they got lucky because they had the right parents. They came up in the right opportunity in life, or in the right area of life. They had someone give them an opportunity. Something was given to them. And I was waiting for something to be given to me. I didn't realize I had to go into the world and take it. I had to go find it. I had to figure it out, right? So the first step was awareness, to find my gratitude. And the awareness part is, where do you stack up compared to yourself, compared to others, compared to everyone in this world? And the first thing I did was, I had to think about my entitlement on my own gratitude, which is, I felt I didn't have anything to be grateful for. But at the same time, I had all my fingers, I had all my toes, I had all my arms, I had a heart that was beating, and I was alive. And then I started to be grateful for that, because I know not everybody does. I'd see people with one arm. I'd see people that are in a wheelchair. And that right there created awareness of gratitude for me. And I started to realize things are not that bad for me, right? And the next thing that happened was, I went down a process where I started thinking about relationships to everybody in the world today and in the past. The first one was, I said, you know what? I came across some information where it's like half the world is living on less than $1 a day. This is years ago, right? It's still probably pretty close to that, guys. It's like now probably like $5 or $6 a day. But I was thinking about this. I was like, literally billions of people live off $1 or a couple of dollars a day. That's their income. And I have a coffee in my hand that's $3 from Starbucks or whatever it was at the time, right? So in my mind, I'm like, I have 3 days worth of work that I'm drinking as a part of my day in a coffee. How do you think that shifted my awareness and my level of gratitude towards myself? Then the next thing was, or the gratitude towards myself in my current situation, I guess you could say. The next one was looking back in perspective against what we're dealing with today in our world, but also in the past, in the historical world. And if you look at the amount of human beings that have lived on Earth total, how many had running water? How many had microphones and social media, cameras and televisions and cell phones? Did they have, McDonald's that they could go to? Did they have air conditioning? So in comparison, through awareness to the historical record of mankind, no matter how bad your life is today, is better than kings of yesterday and queens of yesterday. And that hit hard for me, which is, how dare I be this entitled, right? And I've been at, airports like recently, even now, I still deal with this from time to time. These old thought processes creep in of lack of gratitude. And what happened was, just recently, I was coming back from a big event, and it was like a 20 to 24 hour travel day that should have been like a 5-hour travel day. And they lost my baggage, and it was like 4 a.m. I'm sitting around the baggage claim, and this individual walks up. I guess that's what you could say, because I'm sitting in my own pity party. He comes up because he had some type of paralysis where he had to actually walk on stilts. And he's coming by me, and I'm the only one around, and he's trying to get his bag off, the baggage claim. And I'm thinking about, how dare I disrespect myself, disrespect this person, and disrespect the world and everybody around me, because my life is not bad. I have a great life, and I'm pretty sure you do too. You just don't see it right now. You need to open up your awareness and your perspective, because once you believe that you have a great life and you can actually improve it and have a better one, you'll move to it. But once you believe you're cursed and your life is not worth living and you're ungrateful for everything and everybody around you got lucky, this is when the problems happen that you can never get out of. But I watched this man, a hero in my eyes now, walk up there with dignity and a smile on his face and basically said, "How you doing?" And I wanted to be like, tell him the truth, right? But I didn't. I just sat there and I said in my mind, remember to be grateful, because it could be much worse. I'll leave it at that, guys. Hope you liked the video. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on the next one. And I have a lot more videos coming out on this similar thought process, guys, but I hope that helps. Find your awareness and your perspective of gratitude. Once you become grateful, things start happening in the positive direction. Go through the forgiveness exercises and get your physical body moving. And this is the step-by-step, 3-step process that has restructured and restarted so many people from a negative position in life to going in the positive direction. On the next video.